and it really has set them up for this quarter-final. Well, hello and good evening. You're with Dan Roebuck and Gary Breen for Watford versus Southampton, the first of 4 FA Youth Cup quarter-finals. Watford, 2-time winners of a competition that is steeped in history as they aim to progress to the semi-finals at the expense of Southampton, the club that made the last 4 just 2 years ago before failing to get beyond West Ham, the eventual winners. Watford's under-18s league coach Matt Bevans has said that as an academy, this is the one that they really want to win. They are truly excited for, and vows that his team will give everything in order to make the next rounds. Expect no quarter ass nor given then from the hosts. And as for Southampton, visiting coach Callum McFarlane concurred when saying the FA Youth Cup has such prestige to it, it is a great opportunity. Well, let's check out the teams for you then. Watford unchanged from their round 5 win over Tottenham. Victor Gnockerson will play up top, the January signing from League of Ireland side Bohemians, netted in the game against Spurs, with Amin Nabizala providing the creative spark just in behind. He did though net twice in that 4th round success, so he can score as well as create. Tom Giorgio will captain the side. Leo Ramirez Spain made his first team debut this season in the League Cup. As for Southampton, well, they also stick with the same team that won through to this stage of the competition. 4-1 success over Derby, of course, at St Mary's in round 5. Nico Yakunle has been in brilliant form, as we've heard this season, with 18 goals in the southern section of the under-18 Premier League. He's yet to score in the FA Youth Cup. Belly Di Pepper has been the main man in this competition, with 3 goals so far, including 2 in that win over the Rams in round 5. So a big opportunity here, certainly, for Matt Bevans. He will be hoping to steer his side through to the semi-finals of a competition that he knows that the club that he represents has had some significant history. Saw a brief glimpse there of Callum McFarlane as well, who's been up to the under-21s from a Saints point of view. He knows, though, that if his side can push towards the final and maybe win it for the first time, that would be a significant line on the CV. Referee is Rob Massey-Ellis, as the 2 captains here toss to decide who gets this FA Youth Cup quarter-final underway. Saints, who scored 4 at home in round 5 to secure their place in the quarter-finals, beating Derby 4-1 at St Mary's. This comes after wins over Swansea and Fleetwood in the 3rd and 4th rounds, respectively. There is the aforementioned Matt Bevans, appointed coach of the under-18s last summer, former Hornets defender. Suffered a bad injury in his youth career against Southampton, ironically. Looking to steer Watford through to the semi-finals here against Saints tonight. So here we go, Watford, Southampton first up in the FA Youth Cup quarter-finals. Big chance for both teams in the Premier Domestic competition for academy teams to make their mark. Rob Massey-Ellis about to get us underway. Some real prospects on show here. Who knows, we could be looking at some of the stars of the future. 2 clubs that have produced some outstanding talent in the past. Underway then at Vicarage Road. It is Watford versus Southampton, FA Youth Cup quarter-final, first of the 4. And Watford have been excellent so far in this competition, so far this season. Likewise Southampton, hence their place in the last 8. You're with Dan Roebuck and Gary Breen for this one. Always great to see talented young performers in this FA Youth Cup. It's the one, Gary, that they all want to win.
They do, because it creates memories that just cannot be replicated. They'll have a special bond, these lads, being in a professional club for those early part of their careers, and they'll remember it. And certainly this competition has such prestige.
This is Debaga, and Southampton, they do play technically in the division above, look to put some pressure on Watford in the early exchanges. Alvancia just filling in at left back for Watford as Saints slow it down a little. Some Ventura play to this near side And Oyakunle, interesting to see him play over on that right flank. He can play through the middle as well. He scored plenty of goals, as we know. Just wonder how ambitious both of these two sides will be. They don't meet regularly, of course. They have met in this competition a few years ago. Watford making progress then as the ball is flicked to this near side, and Oyakunle cleared by Nabizada. But it would appear, Gary, that Southampton have set their stall out here to dominate, and maybe Watford to sit back and look to soak up the pressure.
Now, I'm surprised at that, actually, because Watford started so well, high press against Tottenham, which was a standout performance in the last round, and I felt that that would give them that confidence. There's a lot of talk going into that game, maybe giving a Category 1 team a bit more respect. It seems like they're just standing off a little bit and allowing Southampton to feel comfortable within their surroundings.
Thompson Ventura with the crossfield ball. Zela Debaga will play it back. Dawson Ventura again. Going well in the southern section of the under-18 Premier League. Always a difficult section to win, given the academy powerhouses that are in the southern section. The likes of Chelsea have done so well, of course, in this competition, and Arsenal likewise. The ball bounces out of play, but already it looks as if Southampton are looking to target the right flank of Watford potentially, and Ollie Stevenson.
Because this game has built up so much in the anticipation, excitement of these players, you just want them to settle in the first 5-10 minutes, just feel comfortable and just do what they have been doing naturally throughout this season so far. Been goals in both teams. They've scored 4 in the previous round, so I expect that to continue today.
Nabizada scored some wonderfully taken goals, didn't he, against Tottenham in the previous round for the Hornets. First time winners back in the early 80s. They beat Manchester United in the final. United team that had the likes of Norman Whiteside and Mark Hughes and Clayton Blackmore, one or two others that did make the grade elsewhere. John Barnes played in the second leg, not in the first that year. 2-legged finals then. Now down to the single leg. Of course, it's a toss of the coin to see who plays at home in the final. But there is a bit more jeopardy on these games, for sure.
Even that high midfield 4 for Watford there just seem reluctant to go hunting the ball, whether or not they're giving Southampton a little bit too much respect.
And a bit of a press here, potentially, as Moody looks to clear. Okanola. Loses out initially. Now an opportunity for Messiah Edwards to come forward. Ends upon the turf. And now De Pepper. Just shouldered off. Oyakunle, right hand side, De Pepper through the centre. This is Nabizada. Runs into trouble. Maybe just catches Oyakunle.
All these teammates will be looking to get the ball to him as early as possible to see what he can create for them, just relieve a little bit of the pressure. Southampton have certainly started the better, or looked the most comfortable this evening so far.
Fry back up on his feet. And here is Fry again. Ever present so far in the FA Youth Cup this season, the 17-year-old. Some professional forms just last summer ahead of this season. Ganola Matthews will center it back. And now it's Moody once again, just 16 years old, the keeper. Made his debut last season in this competition in the game against West Ham, the shootout defeat. West Ham, of course, winning this competition a few years ago, thumping Arsenal in the final. Manchester City, the holders, last season comfortably beating Leeds United, and into the last 8 again this season. Some really good ties coming up over the course of the quarter-finals, including Arsenal against Manchester United. United record winners of the FA Youth Cup with 11 successes on their CV. Here's an opportunity maybe for Stevenson for Watford. Nabizada does well to inside the penalty area. Nabizada to twist and turn. Might pop back out for Sangraka. Sangraka well initially. Vansea. Messiah Edwards.
Now they need this passage to play Watford just to get comfortable again. Worry whether or not they've seen so much of Southampton in all the video analysis that they will have done, but they're probably given a little bit too much respect.
Ramirez of Spain to play it over to the right-hand side. Here's an opportunity for Oriasi to try and get the cross in. Oh, was he caught in two minds there, just lifting it over the crossbar?
He receives that ball out wide. He's really positive in terms of driving at the fullback. But that final ball was just lacking a little bit to his manager's frustration. And Matt Bevan's talked about his team being nervous at the beginning of this competition, but certainly those results that they've had since. 4-1 home at Crewe, 4-2 against Spurs. I know Tottenham had a couple of players sent off, but nevertheless it was so impressive by Watford, their performance on the evening.
Watford lose possession, but after a nervy start, looking to try and put Southampton under a little bit more pressure. This is Fry, and now Okinola Matthews. And Fry once again. Watford just push forward a little here. Nabizada maybe looking to affect that press and push on and put the Southampton backline under a bit of pressure. Georgiou with the challenge. Watford captain.
Good movement by those Southampton front players. Looks like they're struggling a little bit to a blow to the face here. But even Robinson on that left-hand side. As soon as that build-up player comes from deep for Southampton, their movement's really good, and it has unnerved Watford a little bit just in terms of getting used to it.
Here's the challenge again. Almost as if De Pepper was on his way down when Georgiou managed to bundle him over. Vansea. Neat flick forward from the fullback. Messiah Edwards. And again, gets a lucky bounce. Messiah Edwards to come forward. Nabizada was calling for it. Sangrajka slides in, and then Odiasa will play it back. De Pepper is on the move. Morris to clear away. Just get a sense here that neither side have really found their stride in the opening 9 minutes or so. They know what's at stake here, a semi-final in the FA Youth Cup, as Georgiou comes powering forward.
And these young players, that's what they have to learn on their pathways as footballers. It's just coping with the anticipation, the excitement of a game, and not letting it just affect how they go about their business.
Stevenson's touch, Odiasa. Ramirez of Spain, he has played for the first team this season. Made his FA Youth Cup debut in the competition last season, beaten by Manchester City. Late last season was on the bench in the Championship on a number of occasions. Made his first team debut in the League Cup success over MK Dons, late substitute in that fixture. Stevenson with a throw. Awkward one for Åkesson to try and take, and Southampton have it again.
It's important though that those balls into Åkesson are held up better than that, just to allow that second line of attack, Nabizada, to get in and around him. That first ball up to him, he has to pin them centre-backs and just provide a platform from which Watford can play.
Watford currently third in their domestic division at under 18 level. 12 points behind leaders Bristol City. Do have a game in hand. 1 point behind Cardiff. Top two will contest the knockout stages at the end of the season. They were scheduled to play Ipswich at the weekend, but the game was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. Last game against Swansea, 3-1 reverse in the league. Their game, of course, against Spurs after that in the FA Youth Cup. just about sneaking through here. Opportunity for Watford, potentially taken brilliantly. Åkesson spins, turns, scores. Watford lead. Really neatly done from Watford's number 9, a player that we talked about ahead of the action.
Lovely play, initially down that left-hand side. And we talked about Åkesson in terms of that willingness to run in behind, on the shoulder of defenders, times it perfectly, the weight of the pass, but he's still got a lot to do. And you have to recognise the defender shouldn't really be showing him inside onto his right foot, his stronger foot, because we've seen the quality of his finish. Brilliant start by Watford.
Well, he took it really well. Good movement, great balance, confidently dispatched. And Callum McFarlane's side have got a bit of work to do already in this FA Youth Cup quarter-final.
That Southampton defence is relatively deep, so it does deny Åkesson that type of space. But the weight of the pass just took that defender who made a lunging attempt to block the pass out of the game. And then we saw the quality of the finish. That should give Watford some more confidence, as Southampton have started the better team.
He scored in his last 4 games now for the junior teams as Nixon Åkesson. Player, as Gary pointed out, pre-match was signed from Bohemians, the League of Ireland side. Made his debut back in 2023, so he's been getting senior time in Ireland.
And he's been playing a lot in the underage teams for Ireland. And forgive me here, but we are desperate for some young strikers to burst onto the scene, so I'm pinning a lot of hopes on this young man.
Well, he played at the European Championships at under 17 level when Ireland made it through to the quarter-finals of that competition.
Absolutely, and it was he who got the winning goal to enable Ireland to qualify late on.
So to the under-19s now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of talk in terms of his ability, and of course they're making a move to Watford. They invest a 4-year contract in him, so they obviously identify that he's a player of real potential.
Well, Southampton in the previous round, as we see Nabazade come forward, it's cleared away by Fry.
But the confidence is there straight away, isn't it? Straight ball down the channel, little flick round the corner. Suddenly they give this team a massive lift, Watford.
They did go behind to Derby for coming back to win 4-1, so they've done it before in the FA Youth Cup this season, have Southampton. That was at St Mary's rather than away from home, but just goes to show that they are resilient and a side that will not let the current scoreline get to them. They've won their last couple in the FA Youth Cup away from home after losing the previous 2. They're unbeaten in 90 minutes. Last term beaten by West Ham on penalties after a draw. Stevenson battles. Sealed enough.
And he's strong defending there just to edge the ball over the line. But even when those balls go forward, we're now seeing Nabizade, swashbuckling style, picking up second balls and then driving forward. I think at first, because they've given that information from the coaching staff, having watched Southampton so much, they can be a little bit tentative, a little bit edgy, don't really want to commit to themselves. Now 15 minutes in, they're a bit more relaxed. You can see the pressing that we talked about. That's more like that Watford team.
Moody to clear, Watford have it again. Drilled in here, opportunity for the header, he's brilliantly saved. Readjusts his feet well, does Dylan Moody. The header from Messiah Edwards. Lovely with the deliverer, wasn't it?
Lovely spot that he recognises. The opposition of the other side winger is unmarked at that back post. Not the best of headers.
Southampton just struggling to clear their lines a little bit. Suddenly all of the play is being played in that Southampton half.
So much of these education for these young players is about playing out from the back, and they're being brave enough to do it. And of course Southampton are doing it at the Premier League level. The first team really struggling at times. But you want to see their reaction to giving a loose one away. Are they brave enough to go again? And we've just seen here that they certainly are.
And they've lost out again here. Nabizada to win it back. Messiah Edwards again here, looking to try and trick his way towards that 6-yard box. It's going to spin away for a corner potentially here. Doesn't quite cross the line. Messiah Edwards was convinced that it had done.
Caused a lot of their own problems here, Southampton, in terms of not being able to play out.
Here they go again. Watford, Ramirez of Spain. This time loses out. Southampton look to clear. A little bit better for Robinson to try and move away. Shrugs off the first challenge. Really powerful run here from Jay Robinson. Just tried to flick it forward to the left-hand side. Then a run of Sila Debaga.
And a simple flat pass that would have put his left back in. But you do see there Robinson, in terms of that quality that he has. His movement's lovely off the ball. Comes short to spin in behind, but he's got a strong runner from deep. He's a good ball carrier.
Daly. Kinola Matthews. Second in the under-18 Academy League South, Southampton. 7 wins from their 17 games. They are just off the pace at the moment. There are teams in behind them that have got multiple games in hand, so it's unlikely they'll stay in their fairly lofty position here. Ball's gone out of play. Stevenson battling away with Sila Debaga.
And all of those league games that Southampton have had, they haven't failed to score in any of them, so there will be
incredible record, isn't it?
It's amazing, really. And I'm just looking at them now. And although they've made those mistakes passing out from the back, you can just see they're not panicking. They trust the process. They believe in the way they play.
As far as under-18 games are concerned, they've scored in all 23 this season. A run that goes back to 26 to late last season. So some really good numbers for Southampton in terms of goal scoring. In comes the delivery, straight down the keeper's throat. Sam Morris clutches it.
Good handling. That looked like he was under real pressure. He had his own teammate around him, Southampton as well. He's done well to get out of that scenario. They've tried to pin him under the ball, kept his eyes on it, took a clean catch under pressure. Well done.
Very much in vogue in swinging corners, right on top of the goalkeeper these days. We see it in the Premier League an awful lot. Okason for Watford has scored one, and he's striding forwards here. He's got options left and right. Oriesa. Stevenson on the overlap. Watford throw. An impressive start for Watford. Nabizada for Stevenson. Away from Sila Debaga, still going to the byline, just unable to cut it back as the ball runs out of play, but he's got forward on a number of occasions, the young right back. Yeah,
really positive play by him. In opening 5 or 6 minutes, he was pinned back a lot by Robinson, but now he's been able to get forward, to the delight of his manager. He must be really pleased with how they started so far.
Sila Debaga wants to go all the way back to Moody under pressure from Nabizada, but Southampton play through the press really well. Okinola Matthews. Game is starting to flow a little more. No, that's a poor challenge. It will be a free kick and it might be a caution. Messiah Edwards.
Well, his hope will be that the referee is a bit lenient early on in the game. It's not a bad foul. I know that's a cynical thing to say, but Southampton had caught Watford out of shape. Oh, he has gone into the boot. He has going to have to be careful now.
Yeah, a card for Xavier Messiah Edwards. Made his first team debut back in May as a late substitute in a championship match against Middlesbrough. Papa. It's another free kick.
You can see, you can see the information given to his centre forward. Keep making those runs, and then the instruction to that second line of attack, those midfielders of Southampton, is to keep playing it down the sides. Giorgio got there in good early position, but is slightly beaten by the quicker man to give away a dangerous one.
Well, here's an opportunity for Southampton then. And it will be Moses Cisse to curl in. Another in-swinger here to test Sam Morris and company.
Watford players have to assess what's happening around the pitch. Robinson's on his own edge of the box. I know clever, they've marked him up now. Just be aware to something different happening that doesn't quite feel right. Get that information to your teammates.
Cisse to deliver. High towards the back post once again. Morris this time decides to punch away. Is there a breakaway for Messiah Edwards? Not quite. One back here well by De Pepper. Now it's with Daly. Robinson. Sewell. Watford push out a little. Southampton still in possession. Okunola Matthews. Dobson Ventura. Daly. Cisse with a run. Tries to slide it through. Ricochets around. Chance here. Blazed over. Good opportunity, Silla Dibaga. The whistle has gone anyway.
It's brilliant play by Southampton. Cisse in that number 10 position. Ball's fired in to him. Look at the quality of this touch and the pace of the ball. Settles it straight away. Little release down the sides. You have to say that's brilliant. Fullback defending to narrow up there by Vancia. And a brilliant challenge, timed perfectly.
That was cool for the flag that did go up. So even if the follow-up effort had flashed into the back of the net, it wouldn't have counted. Dobson Ventura plays it all the way back to Moody. Just get the sense here that it's not just going to be one goal scored in this quarter-final. Both teams probing away. Both have got talented forward lines. This is Fry. Sewell down the line. Watford pressing. Southampton starting to show plenty of confidence with the ball at their feet in deeper areas, but they've lost out here. This is Fry. Silla Dibaga.
You can certainly see the quality of those Southampton players receiving the ball in tight areas with the man tight behind them. And we're seeing this again from Robinson, driving from deep position to release those forwards.
De Pepper. Oyakunle right hand side. De Pepper with the shots. Good claim from Morris. Gathers well.
It's a brilliant break from Southampton. You can see the fluidity in that front four. They do move around a lot. They look so comfortable moving with the ball. But it's so important for Watford just to retain possession when that ball does go up to Okasan, just to relieve the pressure. Don't allow Southampton to feel really comfortable and build that momentum, because the quality is certainly there. We've seen it already.
Part of the England under-17 side that was beaten in the final of the Euros last summer at that age group was in the same team with the likes of Ethan Waneri and two others. Nabizada. It is right hand side. Ramirez of Spain. Mancia. Messiah Edwards will go again. Sangarajka will play it back. Watford seemingly in control. A goal to the good at home against Southampton. Home advantage really key in the FA Youth Cup, as we've seen. Don't get that two-legged final anymore. Watford looking to make the home comforts pay. Won 4 of their last 5 in all competitions at home and 8 of their last 12. Wilson was looking to intercept. Georgia will clear.
You've seen Southampton really confident building from the back, but that was a brilliant phase of play by Watford to get up the pitch. And they know they've got that out ball with the strong running of Nixon, Okasan.
Watford throw just beyond the midpoint of this first half, and it's the Hornets that lead. Reference there, 1982 FA Youth Cup winning side. They won it in 1989 as well. Certain David James in the lineup then. Beat a very good Manchester City team that included the likes of Michael Hughes and Mike Sherron, Neil Lennon. Jed Taggart. Cisse to aim it forwards. Back here for Okinola Matthews. Dobson Ventura. Fry. Sewell on the left-hand side. Dominating the play here, Southampton, but no real penetration. All the possession inside their own half.
They always seem to have options, don't they, even in tight scenarios. Quite well drilled, you can see.
No quarter Asner given there, no one was pulling out. It's another card that's going to come out. He
does chase after the ball. I don't think he's ever going to get there as such. He's committed to the challenge. You wouldn't expect him to pull out of it. It's more shin on shin as opposed to studs.
Yellow card for Raoul van Seer, a 16-year-old who started every single FA Youth Cup game so far this season. Made his debut in the competition last term in that defeat to Manchester City, an England under-16 international. Did have a time at Chelsea's academy. Two players in the book for Watford in the opening 27 minutes here.
I hope the message will come from their coaches now just to settle down. I know youthful exuberance and all that in terms of the occasion, but as they know to their benefit with Tottenham getting two players sent off in the previous round, it can really alter the effect of the game.
It's not something you generally see in junior football as well. The referees can be a little lenient. If it was an academy game, they might just have a word with the coach if a player was a little bit over the top. Rather substitute somebody and keep the game flowing, but this is different. This is more competitive. It's the FA Youth Cup. Stella Debaga loses out. Watford will clear. JD Moulton to the halfway line. Saints are going to come again.
The league is great in terms of learning and getting your education, but all players, as soon as the fixtures come out, it's the FA Youth Cup that they're looking forward to more than any other competition. It's one that's admired all over the world. You've mentioned so many players, former winners, but my God, have we seen some talent over the years coming through it.
I'm sure that the coaches will know that not all the lads on show tonight will make it, but hopefully a good percentage will. And even if they don't hit the heights of Watford or Southampton, might get a fair career.
It was interesting listening to the comments of Morris, the Watford goalkeeper, saying playing together is what matters. We are a family and we don't want it to end anytime soon. And you can just see it. Even when Watford score, all the players, they're all together celebrating. It's a special thing to see the bond that these players obviously have.
They're infectious, certainly. So pleased to beat Spurs in the previous round. Fry for Sewell. And now Cisse showing some neat touches in this first half already. Okinola Matthews on the right-hand side just comes in fields. Kunle. Now it's with Daly. Okinola Matthews has just strayed offside, but well, Southampton have done well making progress up the field. Just the final third perhaps that they're lacking, but they've responded fairly well, I think, from going a goal down.
He shouldn't be offside there. You can see all along the line. Gets himself into a really good position with space. Simple ball. He would have been crossing a dangerous one into the box.
He's going to stick with the Youth Cup side, even though he's been up to the 21s. Callum McFarlane took over in 2023 after coaching stints at Manchester City previously. Did win their last away game, Southampton, at under 18 level, a 4-2 success at Villa. They've won 4 of the last 6 away. Talking about scoring in games this season, they've scored in the last 23 away from home as well since getting beaten 4-0 by Arsenal back in September of 23, going back a long way. Cisse, Southampton coming forwards here. Oyekunle, Cisse again. Arms go up, but the flag doesn't follow this time around. Robinson will keep it in. Cisse wants it back. Canola Matthews available as well. What's the midfielder going to do? Robinson, who's looked impressive, does find a teammate. Canola Matthews, Cisse. Watford pushing out a little bit, but Southampton dominating possession at the moment.
It's the quality that Southampton have in those tight areas. Robinson there, Cisse, lovely feel of the ball, just effortlessly moves it around with that left foot. I know left footers always look so much more graceful. Good awareness, just always on the half turn, showing all the time in that central midfield area.
Played in an FA Youth Cup semi-final a few years ago when Southampton were beaten by West Ham, who went on to win the competition. Has been on the bench in the League Cup this season as well for Southampton, as Jay Robinson, a real prospect. Thompson Ventura. Papa around the corner, looking for Cisse, but Nabizada picks it off, and Watford coming forwards here. Still Nabizada. Away from Cisse not once but twice. Nabizada.
Cisse's got to be careful there, he's grabbing Nabizada's shirt.
Ramirez Spain goes down.
Some defending to do now, Nabizada.
Robinson. Oyekunle. Di to turn! Oh! Well, really good movement. And does Morris just get enough on this one to tip it away for a corner?
It's incredible. Morris is looking at the referee. The referee's looking at Morris to say, did you save that? Morris half saying, I don't want to give away a corner, but yeah, I did save it. You can see in his eyes what a save and a touch it is. Lovely play by Southampton again. Little slide rule pass. That touch is quality by the goalkeeper at full stretch. But little reminder of the quality that Southampton have with balls played down the sides of those centre-backs.
Brilliant movement, good strike, better save onto the post really, wasn't it? From Morris. Meanwhile, an issue for Massar Edwards potentially.
There's a concern for Watford in terms of how they're set up. They are being quite passive at times, but when they do go hunting the ball, if they don't get it and they're out of shape, Southampton are so quick from going from their half to the opposition's with real quality in terms of the pass, the weight of it, and the quality of the runs.
Just a corner to show for their struggles, but Southampton looking dangerous for sure. Nabizada at the other end, was he just tugged back here?
Well, you can hold a player, but the key to it not being is how quickly you let go, and he doesn't let go quick enough. Cisse, he's still holding on to that, and he gives the referee a decision to make. The referee's very lenient for him there.
Well, Mercy Ellis deciding not to give a spot kick. Southampton with a corner here. Robinson to curl towards the near post, and Sayre will clear away.
It shows the quality of him there, how naturally two-footed he is. We've seen so much of his quality on his left foot. He's taking corners with his right.
Di Papa slid through, might fall to this near side of Oyekunle, not quite. Thompson Ventura. Dual forward, Robinson to turn. Nabizada to pick up the loose pass. Watford have it again. Struggling to clear their lines this time around though. Just under pressure all of a sudden here, the Hornets.
Yeah, big 10 minutes now just before half time. Don't allow Southampton back into this. This is part of their development, their learning curve, is managing games, assessing what's happening at this particular time, why it's happening, how can they stop it, how can they take all that momentum away from Southampton as the home team. Delaying restarting the game is cynically one of those.
Stevenson will take the throw. It's towards Åkesson. Sela Debaga. De Pepper. Let's fly. Oh, and it's spilt by the keeper. Well, this man's been in fantastic form in the Academy League this season, but that is his first FA Youth Cup goal. Oyakunle following up and firing in from close range. Morris, who's done little wrong in this fixture, but it bounced away from the clutches of the keeper and was rammed home from close range after De Pepper's first effort.
It's a brilliant turn by De Pepper initially to roll the defender, drive forward, his eyes light up. But what we have seen there from Oyakunle is the first time we've really seen him playing through the middle. He's been out in that wide right all the time. And when you get him in the middle, that's why he's got so many goals this season, because he sniffs out opportunities. He's gambled on the fact the goalkeeper won't hold it, and he's got there before the defenders react.
18 in the Academy League this season for Nick Oyakunle, and he's got his first in this cup run for Southampton at junior level. And Morris, who looks so good, made that wonderful save. He's been commanding when crosses have come in, and we always say that when the ball bounces just in front of keepers, it can be difficult. Generally at first team level you don't see the spills, you do occasionally, but unfortunately that one bounced in front, hit him on the chest and just popped out.
Yeah, make sure now the disappointment's not so great. There's nothing he can do about making that mistake. Get it out of your head and just focus on making big saves for the remainder of this game.
Did sense that Southampton leveller was coming, and we were rattling off the Saints goal scoring stats for this 24-25 season, and they kept up their record of scoring in every single fixture across the competitions at under 18 level. Åkesson over the top here. Flag stays down. Åkesson tries to find a teammate, unable to do so, but Southampton can only clear as far as Ramirez of Spain. Åkesson looks to go again, cleared by Dobson Ventura. De Pepper takes it down. Eddie Moulton slides in. Ramirez of Spain again. Now it's with Messiah Edwards. Ansaya to turn. And Bizarda unable to continue with the spin, and Southampton have it again.
The fullbacks of Southampton are quite high up the pitch, so it gives you the impression that the Saints have got an overload in that midfield area, and at times it looks like Watford have only got two centrally, so they can get swamped. It's just finding out, having that ability when they do win that ball to recognise where the space is, and invariably it will be in their fullback positions.
That defeat 20 years ago in the final to Ipswich, drew 2-2 at home, and then lost 1-0 away from home after extra time. Theo Walcott, Leon Best, Nathan Dyer, Gareth Bale in the squad, Adam Lallana, all part of a very, very good Southampton youth team that were expected to win that year but didn't. A couple of semi-finals since.
It's just that production line, isn't it, of Southampton players, and dare I say, I think they might have a couple more out of this team. Technical ability, yes, but the athleticism, you can see it, it's so obvious.
Rashko was pulled back.
There's a cheap free by Cisse to give away. He's got numbers and teammates in and around. It'll be very difficult for Watford to break out of that.
Watford free kick. Still without a clean sheet then in the competition this season, Watford, after conceding 11 goals scored, 5 against. It's been entertaining stuff for those watching the junior side in this competition. It's only 2 of the last 13 in 90 minutes in the FA Youth Cup. They've come unstuck after extra time and penalties in recent campaigns. Let's see what they can do with this free kick. Mizada towards Georgiou, who will head it down. Oh, off the crossbar, Åkesson. bounced perfectly for him from Georgiou's nod down, but he just got a bit too much on it, did he? Just couldn't caress the ball into the back of the net.
Georgiou's done so well there to jump against two Southampton players to make that ball his own. I have to see the starting position. No, he's onside for that header. He has to score there. He's undecided about whether or not he can have a touch. It looks like the ball bounces in and around his stomach and he just has to jump up to get contact. But having said all that, a player of his quality should be scoring.
As you say, maybe just had a little bit more time. Could he have taken a touch? There was a player in behind him as well, but even so, you're close in. And the run was great. He watches the ball, doesn't he? Southampton players stand still.
That's by design, isn't it? His starting position is there, then to spin round. The big centre-half wins their header. A great header it was as well. Puts it back into the danger area. And that really should have been 2-1 as we approach the half-time whistle.
Fry for Dobson Ventura. Southampton, who trailed early, back on terms. Yakunle cancelling out Okerson's early goal for the Hornets. Okerson had that big opportunity to put Bevan's team back in front. Just gets away from Sewell. J.D. Morton for Van Tey has to stretch to bring this one down as the left full-back. Van Tey turning on the afterburners in between defenders. Well, the referees let it go because Southampton have got possession, but there was definitely a tug of the shirt. Okerson. Ramirez of Spain. Sire Edwards, can he chase it and keep it in play? Not quite.
A lot of pace on the ball just to try and get him in. If he gets that first touch, he may well have been in behind his defender. Unfortunately, it's a slick surface this evening, just bounces away from him. It does feel finely poised, but you can't help but look at Southampton's statistics this season, and they're big scorers in second half of games, incredibly so. Nearly 90% in the second half in this FA Youth Cup and 64% in the league, so Watford have put a real shift in, but they'll have to match that and more.
I'd be surprised if it stays 1-1. Good attacking intent from both of these teams, and that's what we've seen in League and Cup with these two, scoring 4 in the previous round. Georgiou. Away from Yakunle.
Brilliant play.
Ramirez of Spain. Nabizada. He's always looked good with the ball at his feet. Looks to make something happen here for Watford. Runs into trouble. Sire Edwards loses the ball. Yakunle, the goal scorer, shows good strength. Can't keep it in play.
That's the best part from Nabizada's day in terms of receiving that ball in the 10 area, but playing on the half turn, driving forward. Early on in this game, he was passing back a lot and just allows Southampton to regroup, get their shape. You just feel that if he does get that ball, quality ball into him, if he turns, then he can create something for this Watford team.
Three minutes of added on time at the end of a 45 here at Vicarage Road that has seen Watford and Southampton share a couple of goals in this Youth Cup quarter-final. Watford in front, Southampton back on terms. Sangrajka doing well there. This is Nabizada. Sire Edwards to the left. Nabizada still going forward. Sangrajka, Nabizada! Oh! Well, it fell to him kindly, but the effort was just wide of the post.
He just felt, as he bullied his way through, we talked about his swashbuckling style, and as he connects on it, not the fiercest of strikes, but you just feel it was going to creep into that far post. And we've now seen Nabizada with a massive chance alongside Nixon, Hockerson, and they were the players we had identified as the main threat for Watford. You have to feel that they've left 2 goals behind.
2 big chances, fast feet inside the box from Nabizada. It's a really good footballer. Rode his luck a little as it came back to him, but some great touches to create the chance. Here he is again, lovely touch once more. Messiah Edwards going forward this time, and still, it's a good block. But it's a fine save from Moody, still not completely away. Referee intervening here.
Yeah, handball in the control. Wanted to see whether or not Southampton had an advantage on the counter-attack. They didn't, so he calls it back. But again, Nabizada releasing on the half-turn, playing forward. Maybe there was a pass on there. You see the control now with the arm. That's why he pulls it up.
Sarah Edwards, the perpetrator. That's what you get in youth team football as well. You'll get a side dominate for 5 or 10 minutes and you think that there's no way that they can be under pressure, and then suddenly the reverse happens.
It just feels that when you watch Watford play, certainly going forward, when they play on their instinct, as opposed to trying to really work out what the coach wanted them to do, they look far more of a threat.
Åkesson. Emirates FA to play it forwards. Canola Matthews with the header. Ariesa for Watford. Nabizada once more. Still Nabizada, still going here. Åkesson to try and take it on, and he's still going here. Might be able to get another go. Van Seer to recycle. Jimenez Spain. Eventually the shot does come in, but it takes a ricochet. Sangarajka with the effort. Corner, maybe just enough time to take it.
It's a great strike. Sangarajka connects with that, really does. Nabizada again attacking space where there seems to be little or nothing of it, but kind of bullies his way in there. Breaks to the edge of the box. It's a sweet strike here, and the goalkeeper's relieved that his defender does get a touch on it.
Short corner, but they'll have to work it quickly. Nabizada demanding the ball and getting it and driving to the byline. That's another one.
He plays like a number 10, like a scrum half, just attacking any little bit of space and just somehow gets through.
Yeah, it is as if he's got the ball in his hand, not
Yeah,
as his
it
feet,
is.
wriggling one way, jinking the other. He doesn't want the half to end, neither do Watford. In comes the delivery. Well, they're claiming handball here, the Watford players, but the referee is not having it. Where's VAR when you need it, say the Watford juniors? Well, that is the half. Nabizada, he's had an influential opening 45 minutes. He's been very good when the ball has been at his feet. Åkesson it was who scored the opening goal, maybe should have had 2. Watford have proved really good so far in this competition, as we know. Underway for the second half then at Vicarage Road, FA Youth Cup quarter-final action between Watford and Southampton. Southampton have never won this competition. Watford have won it on a couple of occasions, both in the 80s. Saints have got to the semi-finals in recent campaigns. But both of these academies proud that their respective sides have got through to the quarter-final. Be a real feather in the cap of all concerned, whichever team goes through to the last 4. And because it's just over the one leg these days rather than the 2 when they get to the final, they will fancy their chances. Good to see plenty of support here from the Watford fan base as well. Free entry for season ticket holders, had a couple of thousand in for the previous game, maybe a little bit more for this one. Or Spurs for the 5th round clash. Southampton will be hoping to inflict a first home defeat on Watford in this competition for quite some time. They have won 9 of the last 12 in the FA Youth Cup at home. Watford only lost 2 of their last 12 in 90 minutes. 7th home time, the spin in fact here. So Saints looking to push on. It was Watford who started that, finished that first half in the ascendancy. Southampton with instructions ringing in their ears from Callum McFarlane. Started ambitiously here. Robinson will flick it forward. Georgiou should be able to clear and does. Salidibaga. Back here for Sewell. And now Cisse.
A similar start to the second half as it was the first. Southampton so comfortable in possession. Notably, these two centre-backs at the back so good at stepping forward, making that first pass. Watford just being a little bit passive again, just assessing what's happening, trying to keep their shape.
Watford without a draw in their last 9 in all competitions, and Southampton without a draw in their last 4. Extra time and penalties if we can't split them, of course. Åkesson. Nabizada. Åkesson was going again. There was a run also from Sangrajka. Stevenson beaten to it by Salidibaga. Still looking for a way in, probing on the edge of the penalty area. That's where Nabizada comes alive. This is Watford to come forward again with Van Seya. Emirates of Spain. And now Nabizada once more. Every single time he gets the ball at his feet, just wants to drive at the Southampton defence.
Even De Pepper for Southampton dropped back from centre forward to try and negate his threat. You just feel that when the game becomes a little bit messy, it suits Watford a bit more in terms of that tempo, suits their style of play far more than Southampton's slow, controlled, dominating possession.
JD Moulton's touch for Tom Georgiou, the Watford captain, who's nod down so nearly led to a Watford second. This is Stevenson. Stabbed forward but easily intercepted. Might get another go here. Emirates of Spain loses possession. Now then, the challenge coming in, catching the Saints midfielder. Robinson's gone down, and well, Amar Sangrajka offers apologies.
I think he's ultimately putting his hand up to say, I've just been done by a brilliant bit of skill. Look at Robinson in terms of getting his body between the ball and the recovering challenge. It doesn't look great, and they're invariably ones where you can really hurt your ligaments in your knee or your ankle. Hopefully it's just a stinger and he's up quick again.
It's another yellow.
Yeah, that would be the concern at Watford now. 3 players in key areas where they'll be making challenges. I wonder whether or not the bench will be looking at that and thinking we cannot afford to go down to 10 men. As good as those starting 11 players and the ones who have been booked have been.
Moody under pressure. Kunle keeps it in play, all a little bit awkward on that far side. It's going to be a Southampton throw when we restart. They've scored 2 or more in their last 4 games, Southampton. De Pepper runs into trouble. And Sayers touch. Kunle chases it down. It ricochets back towards the striker. De Pepper will take it on. Robinson is calling for it here. It's all a bit awkward from Watford, but it sort of works out. Stevenson's touch, I think he was trying to clear it, just spun to the keeper.
He's done that really well though. Modern day fullbacks often on their wings, high and advanced area. He's narrowed up to close that gap vitally on that occasion. The pass was made to Robinson. I think probably the better pass was out to the right hand side. So yeah, Kunle was free.
Bouncing forwards here, Stevenson nearly getting in. Talking about modern fullbacks, suddenly he's up at the other end.
Doesn't even look like he's breathing, does he? And he's just gone the length of the pitch in literally 20 seconds.
He's played in the Premier League Cup and under-21 competition this season. As have a number of the players for Watford, Southampton. A few players playing for the older age group teams.
Yeah, but for the FA Cup, the FA Youth Cup, they're pulled back. Those big hitters at that youth level, all brought back in for these big games.
Emirates of Spain. And then Adiasa's effort, claiming that it came off a Southampton head somewhere along the line, but I don't think it did.
It's fizzed in anyway. It does get there. Just looking for a thinner contact.
Okerson with a challenge, but a fair one, just blocking as Dobson Ventura looked to clear.
They'll tire, no doubt, Watford in terms of closing down like that, but they have to keep it going.
Nabizada. Oriesa.
He's just overcooks it. You can see his reaction. He knows an opportunity as well to get Nabizada in on that left-hand side of that penalty box. Even those starting positions, you can see there Bevan's saying to his forward players, push high up against his Southampton defence. Don't allow him to easily come out with the ball. Let's put pressure on them straight away and see if they're good enough to make the passes still.
I mean, the team has really found their groove since the restart here. Last half an hour of the first half was really enjoyable. They're just feeling each other out again, perhaps, these two, 8 minutes into this second half. Southampton in possession once again. And now Max Fry. Di Pepper will lay it off. Sangrajka will bring it forwards. Nabizada, and still. Challenge came in. Bodies went down, play continues. Canola Matthews. Robinson. A lot of space on this left-hand side for Silla Debaga. Backing away from Silla Debaga as well. Rolls the studs over the ball and then just force out.
He's arguing with the ref that he's been pushed. Just been eased out of it, which puts him unbalanced, but we talked about full-backs narrowing up. Brilliant by Canola Matthews here. Times it well.
Watford have lost their last two FA Youth Cup ties that have gone to extra time. Last against Chelsea a few years ago now in the fourth round. Hopefully we won't require it. Robbins. Daly. Oyekunle. And still going. And still Oyekunle. Well, maybe more by luck than good judgment that he still had the ball at his feet as he tried to centre. Oh, cleared away. Silla Debaga looking to recycle here. All of the passes just seem a yard short or a yard the wrong way. Canola Matthews. Full weight. And Southampton stripes inside the penalty area. Daly will push it forward. Nabizada to inject a good touch, and the ball goes out of play for a Watford throw. Just a little disjointed so far this second half.
Yeah, just an opportunity for Nabizada just to relieve the pressure that Watford were finding themselves in, but that control build-up play from Southampton. Both managers quite vocal in terms of giving the instruction just to help these young players through difficult moments.
Van Sant. Clips it forward, but Southampton have pushed up. Nabizada's going to chase it down. Cleared away by Moody. Flicked on by Sangrajka, and again there's another stoppage here. Okerson this time penalised.
The defender does stoop down on normally back defenders in those situations, but he does stoop down. I'm not sure it was much of a foul.
Morris for Watford. Robinson puts him under pressure. Georgie for Van Seyer. Kunle wins it. Southampton have a throw. They go hunting impacts to regain possession. Depepa, Cisse, Stella Dibaga looking to turn his man here. Does get the cross in. Spins behind for a corner.
It's tenacious, Stevenson. Initially gets done with a turn. Recovers to give away the corner. You'll see him here. Initially you think he's in a bit of trouble, but he's just been rolled on the outside. But he stays there, just gets that vital block on the cross.
Another in-swinger. Southampton crowd the keeper. Morris under real pressure here. Jay Robinson gets ready to take. High towards the back post. The referee decides to intervene. There were two players pretty much on Sam Morris there of Southampton persuasion. Easy decision for the referee to give.
As soon as the ball was hit, he was blowing. Sometimes you have to look at the referee, and if you feel his eyes are on you, just step away from that goalkeeper, restart it, just go back onto him when the referee's looking elsewhere.
An injury here to Kesh Uriasa by the looks of things. Goals against Crewe and Oxford so far in this Youth Cup run, but maybe his race has been run. Maybe just the way he turned.
He's lying down there. Looks like it was a hamstring injury. I'm not sure whether or not, as he's just trying to swivel and make the pass, he's at an awkward position. Just feels his hamstring tweak. Oh, you can see it's heavily strapped anyway. Oh, this would be a shame if he has to go off with that.
Well, concern from the physios, and potentially an alteration will have to be made here.
It's unlikely you're going to run off a hamstring injury, especially when your body's in a kind of a natural position. He's just he's coming short off the defender. He's trying to swivel back to play that overlapping run in, and he just overstretches that hamstring a little bit too much. You can feel the tweak.
Well, it looks like we're going to see young Christian Shevchenko, who is son of Andrei. No pressure there, Gary.
No, indeed. He's a strong lad, doesn't he?
Well, he was with Chelsea, Ukraine under-19 international. A couple of appearances in the FA Youth Cup this season. One start, one substitute appearance. The 18-year-old is on. Dad did win the FA Cup and the League Cup in his time at Chelsea. Unfortunately, Cash Uriasa cannot continue, so Shevchenko is on. It's an enforced change. Matt Bevans withdraws Cash Uriasa after a recurrence of a hamstring injury by the looks of things, and Christian Shevchenko on for the last half an hour, maybe more.
Nice frustration, no doubt about it, and you can understand why. You can see by the fact that his hamstring's so heavily strapped, he'd have done everything to make himself available for this big game of the season.
Van Seyer to take the throw for Watford. Georgie with the ball at his feet. JD Moulton calling for it. Here comes the centre half Can Watford get inspired now here? Potentially the switch has been made. Chances at a premium really since the restart. We haven't seen the best of the likes of Amin Namizada, who was such a threat towards the end to the first, but this is an opportunity maybe for some coming forward again, and still, and eventually the shot taken on. The referee though has halted play.
Brilliant play. Nixon, Ockerson, just keeping it alive, robbing the ball from Dobson Ventura out on that right hand side, drives forward. You can just see that desire, that work rate, keeps that ball alive, muscles the centre half out of it. Now he gets his options, looks his heads up, plays a nice pass, just trying to get on the swivel, doesn't quite break to him.
Showing real quality, determination, industry, and a real player to watch, Nixon Ockerson.
When they raise the tempo, Watford, it absolutely feels like it suits them so much better.
Laid off to the edge of the area. Oh, the shot that took a deflection and Shevchenko nearly pounced. Rudy makes the save, denying Sangrajka.
Sangrajka had a brilliant strike in the first half. His eyes light up there. But the difference on this one is that the defender recognises him in the pocket and is out quickly to block.
Still Dibaga will play it back. This is Schul, one apiece. Just past the hour. Fry to move forwards. Quite sure that Dobson Ventura wanted that, but controls well. And now Okunola Matthews. He's gone forward, and that was Kunle that just stepped back. You can see the full-back going a little bit further forwards here as Southampton get bodies in good areas. Schul. And now Fry. Daly with a crossfield ball. Kunle looking to muscle his way inside the area. Pops up for Robinson with a shot.
Lovely first touch on that raking diag. He just kills it straight away. And he's actually now looking at the referee as just to say, did the fullback pull him down? But the ref's in a good position, called it early, said no, he just got his body there to move you out of it.
This is Fry. Southampton's turn to just build a bit of momentum maybe here. Cisse. Kunle will go again. The flag has gone up.
I like the fact that he does attack from out to in. I'm not sure that that wide right position is probably his best, but look at his quality on this control here. It's effortless in terms of killing the ball. But credit the defender, gets his body, gets his arm across him to not allow him to collect that brilliant first touch. You can see why he's got so many goals this season. But I'm not sure how many of them would have been from wide right. You want to have him centrally playing in between those two sticks. I know he has to probably drop out because of the quality of De Pepper at centre forward on the FA Cup run. But that boy will score goals if you play him centrally.
Dobson Ventura to clear, but only fine touch. Watford have a throw. Game that was played at a good pace in the first half has made way to something of a battle in the second half. 25 minutes remaining. We're not quite in next goal wins territory.
Yeah, but you feel the tension is building. No player, you have to be brave. Don't fear having to make a mistake. Just play a natural game. Go after the win yourself.
Stevenson slips, recovers just about enough. Sangrajka will play it back.
What a shift those two central midfielders for Watford have put in, which is essentially a 4-4-2 system, it feels at times. They've got a lot of work to do in that midfield.
Stevenson controls. Nabizada on the ball, always danger there. Where is the out ball for Ramirez of Spain? Sangrajka again. JD Moulton, Georgiou. Two centre halves trade passes, then Moulton to the right hand side. Stevenson, Shevchenko will take it on and drive towards the byline. It's a corner.
You can see Shevchenko is direct. He's showing me outside, he'll go after it. Good defending there by Fry though, just reading the situation, gets his body there and toes it away.
Watford corner, Ramirez Espain and Nabizada potentially to take this one short, or maybe something a bit more orthodox. Watford players lined up far post. Nabizada will take it short. Ramirez Espain wins another corner, maybe something a bit more regular this time.
Or something that they've actually worked on rather than off the cuff. Straight away you see Nabizada, as soon as it goes out for a corner, heading away. You could actually hear the centre-halves, and I'm glad about that, saying, no, put it in the box. They don't come all the way running up from that for those short corner nonsense.
This time maybe. Here we go, and it is delivered, and it's good delivery as well. Okasun is there, he can't force it home. And then a free kick awarded as St. Cyr player go to ground.
Giorgio's frustration, you could see that they don't take this chance. A lovely floated delivery. He wins it again. He has no right to win some of those balls. He's so dominant in those situations, but unfortunately it doesn't break to one of his teammates. That's why he's saying do not play it short.
Moody. Good pressure here. That's a forced error. Watford want to take it quickly, and the sense that the crowd are getting a little bit more involved here. Maybe they know.
Yeah, they absolutely did react to that, haven't they, in the last couple of minutes? As much as I've admired Giorgio in terms of his heading abilities, breaking line passes from centre-back, been so impressive as well. He's always looking to hit that man in space. If he can't, he'll come out here.
Moulton forward, it's going to bounce through though for Moody. Fry to clear. Debaga to try and chase this one. Morris to clear. In fashion up and under. Robinson's header will only fall for Okasun. Good play from Fry. It spins around, an injection of pace here as Robinson with a ball at his feet. Races at the Watford back line here. De Pepper, Oyekunle. This is Robinson again. Debaga, left-hand side, Oyekunle. De Pepper tries to feed it through. Oyekunle looks to be in an offside position, and as soon as he makes a move towards the ball, the flag goes up correctly.
To establish control with this game, Southampton, these remaining periods, you do feel as if they can get Robinson on the ball, whether it's deep midfield or 10. He does look like the one. Suggestions on that bench now that they may well be making some changes themselves in terms of keeping the energy levels high.
Robinson. Debaga up against Stevenson. They've had a good duel, those two. Debaga gets a bit of space, pulls it back. Schul with a shot. Oyekunle. Fine save again. Morris. Southampton spurn the opportunity to go in front.
Watford defence, it's a lovely bit of skill here to drag it, create that space on the outside, ball comes into the box. Still really should be hitting corners there. It's a great opportunity for him. Attacking from left back, finds himself in a perfect position. Unfortunately, the strike is straight at the goalkeeper.
Dobson, Ventura on the deck at the moment, needing a little bit of treatment.
I think he landed awkwardly as he went up for a header competing, where he got bumped by Nixon Okasun.
Well, concern, and And running repairs for the centre half will mean that Callum McFarlane's going to have to change his central defensive partnership for the remainder of this fixture. He's taking on a little bit of fuel as well, and prognosis has been fired back to the bench.
He's weight bearing anyway, he's pushing through the leg, so he should be okay.
Saints have seen one or two warm up over the last 5 minutes or so. Hansel Anjay Afrey, defender, did come on in the previous round. Sewell to take the throw, De Pepper to feed it back, Robinson on the move, looking to curl it towards goal, spinning into the arms of Sam Morris, who's been a little busier in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Yes, he has, and he's been in the right place. I know we will say that a lot of the strikes have been straight at him. Nevertheless, his handling, his saves have been clean.
Nabizada loses out, Cisse prods it forward. Sela Debaga. Okunola Matthews, so Okunle starts his run and then stops it. Cisse. Here is Fry. You can see that Dawson Ventura doesn't look 100% at all. Just looking to run it off maybe, top of your picture. Fry goes long, but it's fairly aimless, and it bounces once and into the arms of Sam Morris.
It's not the best part of their game, Southampton. If they can't make those passes in through the thirds, they do go long. Invariably, they give the ball straight back to Watford. I'm looking at Cisse at the base of that midfield. He wants to get on the ball anyway. He's looked so comfortable in there. He's a winger by his early trade and his early career. They've moulded him into a left back, a holding midfield, and he's excelled in there.
Nabizada. Stevenson. JD Moulton. Just over 15 minutes remaining of the 90. Georgiou. Just to go long, but Van Sayer denied. Who got the final touch on that? Watford throw. Okasun, can he turn his man? He can lay it off. Watford still may be able to conjure something here. Wonderfully taken. Well, it's a great touch and turn, and Messiah Edwards rifles beyond Moody, and Watford are back in front here. Well, credit Okasun, and the shot blasted home with real venom.
Brilliant goal by Watford. We talked about them playing with a tempo. They've done just that. The throw goes out, they quickly take it. Okasun pins the centre-half, waiting for William Runnish. There's a loose touch who originally covers the run, but his pass is poor for the Southampton player, and it breaks. Messiah Edwards, emphatic finish. Game on now.
Well, brilliantly taken by Xavier Messiah Edwards, who scrambled onto that loose touch from a Southampton defender and then spun brilliantly, didn't he? Got his hips out of the way and turned and got real power on the shot. Changes meanwhile here for Southampton. They need something from here on in and someone to step up.
Dawson Ventura was struggling. They've made that decision at centre-half to change it. And credit Watford for sensing that. It was him who got pinned for that throw.
So, changes for Southampton. Confirmation coming through with Hansel Anjay Afrey coming on and Jaden Moore also coming on. Okunola Matthews and Dobson, Ventura, the players that have gone off. Confirmation. Ajay Frey and Moore, the players that have come on. So Southampton trailing once again. Let's see what they can do this time around. They responded well previously. What about with 13 minutes to go?
And what do Watford do in terms of, do they protect this league? You feel like going after and chasing after Southampton and creating opportunities in the forward line suits them better in terms of attack being the best form of defence. If they sit back and try and protect this 2-1 lead, it will give Southampton the opportunity to get up the pitch and build that momentum.
Onus is on the Saints here. Watford lead, the Hornets going through as we speak. Moulton's header is good. Seal. Robinson. Twist and a turn. Watford win it back. Shevchenko.
Good by Watford, crowding it out. Robinson gets on that ball. He's so good when he drives forward, can go drop the shoulder off of both left or right. And that is going to be so important at centre forward now that you are drawing those type of fouls, because it just allows you to relieve the pressure, because the cramp has arrived. The emotion of the occasion more than anything, because these guys can run all day.
It's incredible, isn't it? I would imagine that a lot of these young players just don't experience cramp because they're not involved in these sort of pressure games,
No,
the emotional games.
It's the whole build up to it. It's everything in terms of turning up at the ground, your family and friends looking for tickets, arranging all that type of stuff. And then you know that there's 2,000 or 3,000 home fans coming. This is something, all this type of stuff is what they got to learn to deal with as they go forward.
Oh, poor lad needs a little bit of help here.
No, he's been brilliant in midfield, he really has. A lot of work unseen, but so appreciated by his teammates and certainly the coaching staff, because in the 4-4-2, midfielders have to cover so much ground. And there's a lot of rotation with Southampton in that midfield, so he'll have been doing a lot of doggies in there.
Matt Bevins speaking to his staff, Lloyd Doyley there as well. And Saints coaching staff likewise to their players. What do they do? What can they change? It's never that straightforward with youth teams, but I would imagine that they might have a chance to level things. Sangrajka, who's been industrious, as you've mentioned, for much of this game. They've had to get through an awful lot of work in midfield. He and Ramirez of Spain. Some instructions ringing in their ears of the two sets of players here. They had that mini break with 10 minutes to go. Watford within touching distance of a place in the semi-finals.
Exactly that. We're into that period now where players are looking up at the clock or trying to get information from the bench. How long? It's important that they try not to do that and just say to themselves, listen, I'm just going to focus on defend and run around in midfield and threaten up front like they have done for the remainder of this game. It's Southampton, their message from the bench will be trust the process. They've scored so many goals late on in the second half. They must have the belief that they can do so again.
There's a card coming out here. Now then, who is being carded? Coming into the book by the looks of things. This is well then, not quite sure who's got the cards here, because the challenge.
Was it because he kicked the ball away?
Yeah, possibly. Well, the substitute, Ajay Frey, has been given the yellow card. Just wonder. Have to make sure which player got the yellow card. Was it for the challenge or the descent afterwards? Here is Ansea to clear.
That's better. The second clearance is far better from the left back.
Oh, now then, that's dangerous. Nearly another. Well, Moody scrambles back. It would have been a little embarrassing. You can see here the substitute fires it back, doesn't know exactly where the keeper is. Jaden Moore not looking at the keeper, just one glance.
There's 2 or 3 strides there where he wasn't sure where that ball was going and relieved to see it go past that post. Floated deliver again, suits Watford, but just make sure that back door's closed. Southampton so good at breaking from one box to the other.
And it comes defensive work this time from the substitute Moore. Cut forward for Emirates Spain again. It's going to be a Southampton throw. Just confirmation that it was Nick Kunle that got that yellow card for potentially something that he said on maybe kicking the ball away, as opposed to the substitute Hansel Ajay Afrey. Further change here as Harry Cathercole is coming on, and it's going to be Bailey DePepper, the player that's coming off, which is a bit of a surprise. If you need a goal, one of your main goal threats usually stays on, but maybe he's been a little quiet in the last 10 or 15 or so. And with 7 minutes remaining, he is to be replaced. Always easier said than done when it comes to managing games from a leading position with 6.5 minutes remaining. Doesn't matter whether you're first team or youth team, but Watford will be hoping to do something like that. Do they try and force it a little bit more to get a third?
Well, that change for Southampton is put Kunle in that central position. We looked at that and thought, oh, you're taking off one of your goal scorers, but I think you're putting on your main goal scorer through the middle now, in terms of if that ball breaks anywhere, you want him in and around it.
So, and again, this is Moore. And Jeffrey. First time ball that looks to have too much on that one. It's interesting that Sila Debagui is now operating over on that right hand side.
Watford, that front line closing down on memory more than energy now. Just looking at the Southampton bench. He's got his head down. You can see that this clock is ticking away.
Watford come again. Standing on ceremony, it would appear here. And Bizarre, Sarah Edwards' edge of the penalty area. Shevchenko's gone to the other flank. Here is Masar Edwards. Was he shoved over? Penalised.
Yeah, he's arguing it. He does toe it with his left foot, just around Masar Edwards, who tries to pin him. He's saying he get a touch. Masar Edwards is clever, feels the contact and goes down, gives the referee a decision to make, and he's given the free kick. You see Fry just trying to stick his left leg round. Doesn't win the ball, comes through the back of him. It's not a case of Watford saying, well, listen, we'll defend it. Both centre-halves are up for this ball. Trying to put the game to bed. Somehow get a third goal. Georgia at the back post again. He'd be who I'd be looking for at every opportunity, just float it into him, to him to head it back across goal. Although the shape of this looks like a strike zone.
Emirates of Spain looking to go for this one. Over the crossbar by quite some way. way overhit. Sewell. Southampton needs some inspiration from someone here. Will it be Jay Robinson? Moore. Debaga beaten in the air. Watford well drilled and disciplined at the back here.
Edwards has got the vital goal to put his team 2-1 up. But he's had 3 occasions now where he's hunted, closed down 1 free kicks. He's putting in such a shift.
J.D. Moulton back out of that one. Shevchenko to race forwards here for Watford. Chops it back inside. Still Christian Shevchenko here. Can he drive and pull the trigger? Needs a bit of help maybe. Definitely needs some now. Southampton players crowd around the Watford sub. Take the corner if you could get it. Stevenson, well, they've managed to keep possession. Cusson inside the area to turn, cleared away again. That's it. First time we've really heard the supporters get behind Watford. Shevchenko, nice turn on Cusson inside the penalty area. Shevchenko again. Emirates of Spain. Van Zet.
This is another example of how well Watford have managed the game since they got that second goal. Really expected Southampton to throw everything at them, but they've kept them at arm's length.
Namizada. Quite as influential in this first half as he was in the second, not quite been involved. Not seen that many runs from him, but yeah, there's Messiah Edwards again. He is hunting everything down.
He has done brilliantly there. As a centre-back, when your forwards are doing that, it buys you so much time to get set and get your structure in place. Cramp.
Strong challenge from J.D. Moulton a few minutes ago. Feeling that one, no doubt, a bit of cramp.
Coaching staff just looking at them, all looking at their watches now. Be interesting to see what the referee says in terms of injury time. Everyone's got their
watches, phones, the lot. Limping to this near side. He's going to be okay to come back on.
No, you're not keeping him off. He's defended so well alongside his captain. They want to see the job out and they'll need him.
Well, we haven't had it play for the last couple of minutes and the border's gone up and it reads 8. Moody, Shevchenko nearly picks his pocket. Sewell. 8 minutes to get a leveller for Southampton. 8 minutes to see out for Watford. Placing the last 4 of the FA Youth Cup at stake here. Cisse to turn. Messiah Edwards' 76-minute strike at the minute, giving Watford passage through to the last 4.
Brilliant defending, the clearance with his weaker right foot.
Namizada gets away from him. Just haven't really seen Southampton press and pressure and put the passes together and show their industry and energy after going behind for the second time, but there's still enough time to try and get a leveller and force extra time here. Debaga lays it off. Robinson's always going to be dangerous from situations like this. Stevenson will clear away. Namizada got a bit of a shove and then the referee's in the way. That's going to be Watford to restart.
I know I've said it about 5 times now, Dan, but Stevenson narrows up at fullback again, knowing that the pass will go out to his winger, who will have space, but he doesn't shirk it, puts the team before his 1v1 situations, clears the danger.
Well, Tino Gonamusandu is coming on here. It's Sewell that's coming off. For Youth Cup debut for him. Has scored for the under-18s in the Premier League at junior level this season. Gonamusandu is on. Don't need to get involved like this, given the game stay. And it was Okerson trying to move away, and Nabizanda getting involved. Now then, referee is going to get a card out here. Okerson is carded for his part in that fracas. It's the move too soon, so he is offside, but there's just a little bit of afters between the two players. I don't know why he goes to ground. And then a little bit of a kicking the ball away situation. Meanwhile, Sangrajka's coming off.
Oh, what a shift he put in.
Yamika is on. Third substitute appearance in the FA Youth Cup, part of the squad, and needs to be able to help guide Watford's home here. Confirmation of Okerson's yellow.
I said about Southampton, they trust the process. It's not been a case of them in his last minutes remaining getting the ball from back to front quickly, going long. They're still looking to pass out. They're obviously a bit tired.
This is Moody. Nabizada. And still going, looks to try and lay it off, does he? Goes himself. Stevenson looking for Shevchenko.
He scored so many goals, Nabizada, because of that ability to finish from that distance, but he had a better pass outside to Shevchenko. Shevchenko's frustration that he wasn't relieved. Pass to him, he was in on his own on that right hand side. The pass just counter released him in on goal.
Watford last in the semis when beaten by Liverpool in 2019. Can they make it through to the last 4?
Some scalps that have taken on the way. That confidence must be sky high from now if they can just see out these remaining couple of minutes.
Robinson. Dibaga. Robinson's going to go again here. Oyukunle will lay it off, and a chance here potentially for Southampton inside the area. Fine save. Gather Cole with the shot. Morris with the stop. It is a corner. 2.5 minutes remaining.
It's a big save. My worry is, why wasn't he there to sweep up? He makes the decision to stay in and around his goal line. And it's proved to be the right one. It's a really good save.
Really good strike from Harry Gathercole, the substitute. Morris comes up big with a huge save.
The referee is watching. The Saints players are trying to mess the goalkeeper around.
In comes the delivery. Has he got on? No, just over. I think the referee was looking at that anyway, wasn't he? My word, that just bounced out. Would that have been allowed if it had gone in?
I think it would have been, because it looks like it comes off the Southampton player's shoulder.
Let's have another look at this. Oh, dear me. That is so close, isn't it?
The The referee's not blowing up, he's giving a goal kick, he's not giving up for a free kick.
So close to a Saints leveller in the 97th minute.
Why is he rushing to take this kick?
Morris punts it long. Southampton looking to create one last chance in the final minute of the added on 8, and suddenly there's one or two challenges coming in here off the ball.
Oh, okay.
And the referee might have to get in between them here. Oh, we don't need this. They've got to think about the next round. They've got to think about what's happening right now. Nabizada's trying to be pulled away by his teammate there, and Captain Georgiou. Everyone's involved, bar the referee, who will stand his ground as they are instructed to do, but it still goes on. Well, there's plenty to unpick here. Nabizada smiles, but the referee will have seen bits and pieces across that mess and that melee. How does it all start? Messiah Edwards goes down, Nabizada reacts. Messiah Edwards wasn't happy about the original challenge.
I'm just looking at those
Nabizada's not been booked.
No, he's definitely at he reacts badly to a challenge in
Yeah,
behind.
he's going to be booked.
He goes chasing the Southampton player, and you have to, the captain, the goalkeeper gets around him. He looks like he's a hothead as such. And you'd hate for anything stupid now to ruin potentially what will be a semi-final for Watford. They're within touching distance of it.
Well, Nabizada got a yellow card that I could see. Ajay Frey also got a yellow card. Potentially Max Fry as well. Ajay Frey certainly booked. Fry, as we thought, got booked as well. Well, we're nearly into the 100th minute. Shevchenko, somewhere along the line, was booked.
He came over as a peacemaker, trying to Nabizada out of the way. Maybe took on a confrontation himself in doing so.
I'm sure that, Nabizada got booked, and he did, so 4 cautions in that melee to a piece. Well, they're fighting for their Youth Cup future, but it looks like Watford are almost there. Stevenson forward, Shevchenko will help it on. Referee poised to blow.
The Watford players around the referee saying, "Come on, ref."
Is there enough time here for Southampton to mount one last attack? Still we play on. It is Watford that make the semi-finals of the FA Youth Cup, led by Xavier Messiah Edwards. His goal 14 minutes from time, well struck, giving Watford a second and crucial goal after Oyakunle had cancelled out Okasun's opener. And it's those Glory Hornet boys that will celebrate. They have been good tonight, and having beaten Spurs in the previous round, they've done for Saints here, as Matt Bevans takes the applause and the hugs from his team. The Watford Academy boys have done well. Messiah Edwards with the winner. They go through to the semi-finals of the FA Youth Cup. It's been a real battle against Southampton, who came back into it well with Oyakunle leveller, but in the second half just were unable to get back on terms and push for extra time here. And it's Watford that progress to the last 4 of the big domestic trophy for the under-18 age group. There is the hero, Xavier Messiah Edwards, a brilliantly taken goal, a turn inside the penalty box and a rifling shot that got the better of Dylan Moody, who could not keep it out. Oyakunle was on the score sheet for Southampton, but unfortunately for him, on the losing side. Southampton had a spell in the first half, but the second really belonged to Watford, who had to battle, but they are through to the semi-finals of the FA Youth Cup, and just about deserved.
Oh, absolutely. It looks like such a tight group of players in terms of how they're celebrating, and they have just made memories to last a lifetime. Can they go after the trophy itself? And after beating both Southampton and Tottenham, you wouldn't put it past this group of boys.
Matt Bevans all smiles. Watford through to the semi-finals, courtesy of a 2-1 win over Southampton. Full time here in the quarter-final, the first quarter-final of the FA Youth Cup. Watford 2, Southampton 1.